He'll maybe have my smile and your hair. Who can tell till the baby comes? He'll maybe have my style and your flair and play fabulous drums. Just think, inside me our genes have found their niche. They link, and out'll come one tap dancing kid with perfect pitch. What could be better than your own little clone who'll reproduce all your talents plus a hint of my own? Consider this kid'll be a one-man band if we let her. Your sense of key and my great vibrato, your melody and my obligato, that's what we've got. Oh, what could be better than that?
That is terrific. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining me and my very special guest. She's an award-winning actress, concert, and recording artist. You know her from such shows as Baby, Cats, and Miss Saigon. Please say hello to Liz Callaway.
Hi, everyone.
How are you? That is so great.
Oh my God, that was so fun to do with Seth. And it was just, it's actually the first time I've actually seen that. And it's just amazing that that was live and that I was at my house and he was at his house. And we somehow, through the magic of technology, that we were able to do it. It was just so fun.
Well, let's talk about your concert. You just recently did that with Seth Rudetsky as part of his Seth Concert Series. It's on demand now until August 25th. But Liz, this concert almost didn't happen for you, did it?
No, in fact, I lost years off my life getting ready for this. The concert was last Sunday, and of course we had the big storm. The big tropical storm. And on the Tuesday before, I, like many people in the tri-state area, I lost power. But I lost power to do a live stream, and particularly to do something live, which is, I don't think anyone else has done this. It's sort of this unheard of thing. It takes a lot of rehearsal. And I was actually midway through my first rehearsal of getting all my tech stuff together, for Sunday when my power went out in the middle of it. So we were almost about two-thirds way through it. And we thought, okay, well, we were supposed to rehearse the next day. No power, no internet, nothing. And then I started to panic, and we thought about postponing it because after Hurricane Sandy, I didn't have power for 3 weeks. I live about outside Manhattan, about an hour or so. And so I was panicked, and we started to think, okay, who could we possibly ask for me to do it at their place, which normally would not be hard, but during a pandemic, nobody wants you in their house. So we had one wonderful volunteer, and Friday I went into the city and did sort of a test to see if it would work. And I drove home, realized I left my purse at the apartment, and was like, okay, so I had to go back in the city. And then a friend of mine got power a little closer to here. So we set up the next day, this is Saturday, and did like a long rehearsal, tech rehearsal and singing everything with Seth. And we did that. And then I went home, and then around 9:00 Saturday night, my power came back on. I was like, oh, well, at least I'm going to have air conditioning, and I'm going to have, use a hairdryer before the concert and then still go to my friend's house. And then Sunday around noon, my internet came back. So I went back up to my friend's house, got all the equipment, brought it back home. We did kind of a sound check rehearsal, but the location wasn't good. So unplugged, moved everything, and then found a place. And then did it at home. It was so stressful. It was insane, but it was also, I've been so looking forward to singing live again and singing for an audience, even if the audience isn't in front of me, I could feel it. And so I was really happy to do it. And the second I finished, my husband handed me a cocktail. I mean, literally, and that, close the laptop, Tito's. Which would not have happened if I was at either the apartment in the city or my friend's house. So I was happy to do it at home.
Like I said, it's such a stressful time anyway of trying to do a live concert, and everything Seth has done is absolutely brilliant with everyone he's had so far. It's been so wonderful. But like you said, yours with these added extra things of like, I'll throw all my stuff in a car. I'll go to the city. I left my purse. I have no idea.
It was insane. Oh, and then I drove 2 hours round trip to give Seth my music because he kind of forgot I sent him a Dropbox file of it. But that is all fine because as you know, I like to sing in my car. So I was just practicing. But it's funny about Seth's concert series. I've done a lot of like songs where you film for various benefits, and I've done Stars in the House several times. Yeah. But, wanting to do a concert and trying to figure out how, and I've been watching Seth's concerts just as a fan. And what struck me is that it was a conversation that it's the thing that's hard for all of us singers is you're singing to your laptop or you're singing to your phone and there's just nothing there. But with Seth, you're actually having a conversation with someone. And so you're not alone and it's a true collaboration. So I enjoyed that so much as an audience member. I think I've seen just about all of his concerts just because it's very, very different. And we've done them. We were supposed to be in Provincetown this month doing, it's never the same. I never know what I'm going to sing. I mean, we try things and then he'll start talking about, and I was like, wait, what are we doing? Which is fun. It's fun. You're on your toes.
New. Yeah. You're going to sing something new with him. You never know.
Yeah. We did a concert together in New Orleans in January. And I was telling a story about being a singing waitress, which I talked about in the live stream concert. And I sing Meadowlark, which was when I started singing Meadowlark. But I told him that one of the songs I used to sing was I Am Woman. I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar, and how the boss of my restaurant hated it. And he's like, oh, let's do it. And he ran to the piano. And I was like singing I Am Woman, Hear Me Roar to this whole audience. And they were singing backup. So we didn't do that, but if I ever come back and do another live stream, I think more people need to hear my rendition of that song.
Okay, so for people who are, your concert is on demand through August 25th at Broadway World events. Tell people what fans can expect and people who can tune in up for the rest of the month. What are some of the songs and what are some of the shows you chose?
Oh, I did a song from Sunset Boulevard. So many of the songs. Seth sort of interviews me and I share stories and it's kind of the history of my career, but with story. A lot of people said, God, I never knew that about you. I never knew that about your background or funny stories. I told some stories that Seth had never heard before. And then I did songs from Baby, like the duet you saw. We did that. Of course, I did Story Goes On. I did Tell Me on a Sunday from Song and Dance. I did a song from Miss Saigon that no one really ever hears me do. So that was, so I did my second act solo from that. And, oh gosh, there was a bunch of Sondheim. I did Beautiful City from Godspell. It was just, it was a very eclectic, it's long. I mean, but you're home, so you can like just pause it and, refresh your beverage and stuff, which is so nice. But yeah, no, it was like 100 minutes long. I mean, it was over 90 minutes. And, but and probably, I don't want to give this away, but if this will make you tune in, my brilliant sister, Ann Hampton Callaway, wrote the theme song to The Nanny, which she sings the lead on and I sang backup on. And so I did just my backup vocals portion of The Nanny, which I think is probably reason enough to watch just for that.
I saw it already and I have goosebumps. I'm going to go back and watch it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, that is, I think one of the highlights of the program.
Well, there are so many. And like I said, you have the most gorgeous voice. And there were stories that I thought I knew all your stories. There are so many theater stories that I heard the other night of the two of you. So really sensational. So once again, for our audience watching, Liz Callaway's concert is on demand at Broadway World events until August 25th. The Seth Concert Series is produced by Mark Cortali and is sponsored by Broadway World and StreamYard. Tickets are available at Broadway World events and at SethConcertSeries.com. And the tickets are only $25. You can watch Liz Callaway sing in your home.
From my home.
Actually, from the home it was all supposed to start in.
Right. You can see my living room. You can see, a glimpse.
We are now in our 160th day of quarantine. I love to give that number because sometimes for me it feels like last week and sometimes it feels like a year. So I was wondering, how are you and your husband and your son like dealing and handling the pandemic as it progresses, Liz?
I think like everyone, you have good days and you have bad days. In the beginning, we were just trying to figure out what it was and everything was so scary. And it also, in the beginning, it felt like, okay, this is just a pause. We're pausing. And, but now all these months later, I feel now, okay, no, this is the new reality. And so, the most important thing is to stay safe. And one crazy thing that happened during this, my son Nicholas, he came home and was with us the first 3 months of the pandemic. He lives in Brooklyn. He's about to start a second year of grad school at NYU Stern, getting his MBA. And but it was just a better idea for him to be home with us. And so that was kind of an unexpected treat that we got 3 months with him that we never thought we would. But in May, my husband was in a very serious car accident the day before Mother's Day. So he was in the hospital a week, ICU for 3 days, and he broke 12 ribs and his ankle. And obviously it was the worst possible time to be in the hospital, and we couldn't see him. And then he came home, and then it's being a caretaker. But honestly now, I think every day is a gift. So as hard as this is, I just feel like, all right, we have this time together. And it's also been helpful that I'm not traveling, so I could, help take care of him. He's doing much, much better. He's actually out for a walk right now, which is good. He's walking slowly, but he's walking and doing physical therapy and stuff. And, but, I'm trying to use this time to, in the beginning, I think everyone's like, oh, I'm going to be so productive. And I got hundreds of requests for, can you do this song? Can you record this? Can you do this, masterclass online and Zoom this? And it was so overwhelming. Yeah. And I find that I have to do very kind of finite amounts of things, just so that so I don't burn out. So, it's, and I'm trying to like up my YouTube game and give content for people to listen to. Doing the concert with Seth was, even just having something to look forward to was really nice. Something, I've been cooking so much. I realize there's everything. I don't know if you feel this way, Richie, but everything is so the same. Yeah. And it's just like, so I've been really trying lots of new recipes, and that's kind of like one of the few things I feel I can do that is new. So there's a blog and cookbook called Half Baked Harvest. There's 2 cookbooks. I've been just cooking up all those things, and Ina Garten, and just so trying to do that. But it's hard. I haven't had a good night's sleep since this started, but I think everyone feels that way. So
it's funny that you say that, because I'm positive. My glass is always half full, as you know. And there's just that uncertainty. It's just like you wake up, it's like, let's have a great day today. And then you're like, oh, but I don't know, there's that uncertainty of what's out there. When will this go away? When will theater come back?
Yeah. And at first, all you did was read about it. Okay, what's this doing? And I have a lot of friends in London, and seeing everyone is going through such a difficult time. And, now with I was collecting unemployment. I'm still collecting unemployment, but boy, do I miss that extra, that extra $600. And it's just, there is so much uncertainty, but it's also, we all have to be careful of our mental health, because it's just so easy to, we need to be informed, but it's also, you can get so distressed. And, and one of my goals now, at least for the next few months, is to just find creative ways to encourage people to vote. That's so important. And so if I can use my platform in any way, it's to encourage people to vote. So that's something I'm focusing on.
Yeah, that was my next question for you. I mean, what I think everyone has to realize, I'd love for you to talk about how important this election is in November, and why people need to register and vote, and what one voice can do and what change they can make.
Oh, it's just this would have happened regardless of who was in office, but things would not have been so bad. And we would have, we need leadership. And we need empathy. Michelle Obama's speech the other night touched me so deeply. It was just, I felt like it was a friend. I felt like my mom. She was my mom, my sister, my friend, just talking to me, and everything she said just struck such a chord. And I know that when I was young, I remember I didn't vote. I think the first time I could vote for the president, I don't know, I think I didn't, just because I don't know, I was lazy or something. But now every vote counts. And, so we can't take it for granted. I don't know what's going to happen, but if everyone votes, and I think a change is a coming, because I think people, when I voted, I've always been a registered independent, or non-registered, and as an independent, just because I thought I'm independent. But this year I thought, oh no, I registered as a Democrat, even though I'd always have voted as a Democrat. And normally I wouldn't talk. I was raised to not talk about who you vote for, but in this case, it's just that ship has sailed. And but I thought, oh no, I have to vote. And the turnout in my town for the primary was unbelievable. And I thought, okay, this is a really good sign, that because it's a pain to wear a mask outside. I get it. It's so unpleasant going to the grocery store with a mask on and everything. I hate it. But of course I'm going to do it. And so just to know how many people want to vote, that they are going to wait in line with a mask. And this is life or death for so many different reasons, but this is life or death, that everyone votes.
Thank you for that, because I mean, everybody has to realize that every vote will count. People just have to get out there. Our primaries here in New York, I mean, everybody was masked. I still wear gloves when I go out once a week to shop. I wear the mask, the hat, but I waited. I made sure my vote went into that machine and it was checked off, on that slider thing, that scanner. And I felt so proud.
Oh yeah. Oh no, it's worth it. It's like, and it's funny. I haven't decided if I'm going to, how I want to vote. I almost want to wait in line. Yeah. I almost want that experience of, I don't relish the idea of waiting in a long line, but I kind of like the idea of the feeling of being with my neighbors, and that we go, oh no, we're going to do this together. And I don't know, but however you vote, and just register. It's not that hard. And I remember, oh God, what year is it? Nicholas, my son, went to Kenyon College in Ohio, and I remember it was actually right after Hurricane Sandy. So what year was that? But we were sitting we didn't have power, so we were staying at a friend's apartment in the city, and we were sitting at a bar and we were watching the election, and it was Obama, his reelection. So it was at 2012, I think.
Yeah.
And Nicholas texted us because he voted. I think it was his first election he voted. He got to vote presidential election, and he was in Ohio, and Obama won Ohio, and he texted us. He said, "My vote mattered." And we were so moved by that, and it was so wonderful. And that really is what this year, everyone's vote matters. And, it would just be so nice to have something to celebrate, wouldn't it? Oh, God.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
We're all in this together.
Yeah.
You have also used your voice and your talent throughout this pandemic in such a beautiful way. You've soothed so many people. You've calmed so many people through benefits and charities. But I want to talk about your YouTube channel and your auto tunes. For people who don't know, tell people what you do in your car.
Well, I have always, for years and years and years, I've always practiced my songs in my car. Yeah. I find it very hard to sing at home. And so I sing to piano tracks, and I have like a million CDs that I still use CDs and burn CDs off my laptop. And then I just will have like July, August songs to learn, or a show I'm working on. And I drive around and doing errands, and I sing. And I remember for years I've been saying, oh God, wouldn't it be funny if I just like film myself, singing in the car, because I'm singing anyway. And so one day I was like walking by a Best Buy, and I found a mount for my phone. I thought, oh, let me just do this for fun. And I was just singing along, and I posted a little clip of something, and people were like, ah. And so I've done several songs. I think what people like about it is because I'm not looking at the camera when I sing. I'm driving. And I'm concentrating on my driving. I'm a very careful driver. And I'm singing. So it's almost like you're observing me as opposed to me performing for you. And I think I've had people come up to me and say, oh my God, I call it auto tunes. I love your car videos. It's like you're using social media for good. And I've been shooting I've been back in my car a little bit more. I'm hoping to get back to posting one this weekend, and then like once a week, because I have to tell you, during the times of incredible anxiety during this period of time, sometimes I would just get in my car and sing. It was like almost the only way, because I always have piano tracks in the car. And there was something about that calmed me. And there's actually one song that I found when I'm really, really anxious, calms me down. And that is when I sing to the karaoke track of Let It Go. I don't know why. I literally, when I was on my way to the emergency room with Nicholas, when Dan had his accident, we passed the accident on the way. And I started to be like, oh my God. And I said, Nicholas, this is going to sound really weird. And I had a CD in the car, and I was like, da, 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 as I'm driving, da, da, da. The snow blows white on the mountain tonight. And it's the most beautiful karaoke track. And I'm singing Let It Go. And that song has been like a lifeline to me. And one of these days I will do an auto-tunes recording of it. Because, but even though it's really funny to me, it deeply, deeply has helped me with anxiety. Just having, singing, the act of singing has helped me in a way that I never, ever have thought of singing as something that helped me with anxiety. If anything, it makes me anxious.
Well, I'll tell you, you've soothed many people, including myself. Seriously, I mean.
Oh, thank you. One of my goals in the pandemic is I gave myself a goal I've been really trying to work on my YouTube channel and getting concert footage edited and doing, cool videos. And it's my goal to get 4,000 watch hours in a 1-year period. It's like this threshold that YouTube gives you. You're supposed to have a certain number of followers or subscribers, and my people have been subscribing every day, which is so awesome. And I have 3,800. I looked today. I have 3,800 watch hours. So I only need 200 watch hours left. And my goal was to do it by the end of the summer. So if anyone would like to take 200 hours and then just watch all my videos, I'd really appreciate it. Just put on I have a whole auto-tunes playlist or something. Yeah. But it's kind of a silly goal, but I feel like it's a tangible goal that I actually have control over. If I put a new video and whatever, there's something I can do that, and will make people happy, give them something to watch, because we all want to, we all want to be soothed and entertained. So that's just been one of my weird little pandemic goals, but I'm close. And I think when I achieve that goal, I will be so depressed. I'll be like, okay, now what am I going to do?
Now you got to get 4,000 more. Everybody watching this, go join Liz Callaway's YouTube channel and just be so entertained by what you do there.
Please do. Please do.
You also have a new single, right?
I do. It is. And this is something that is, this actually started as just a YouTube video. My friend David Shire of Maltby and Shire wrote a song in 1968 called The Morning After. And it was not the Poseidon Adventure theme. And a fan on Instagram, right after, the world changed, and the Black Lives Matter movement really came to the forefront. And I was feeling very conflicted because I saw all my friends doing these really amazing social media posts, and I would post certain things, but I was like, how can I express how I feel about this moment and what is happening? And besides just a social media post, and a fan on Instagram sent me a private message, and said, I love your auto tunes and your YouTube videos. I think you should sing this song. And he gave me the lyrics, and I was like, I know this song. I tried it like 4 years ago. I discovered it by accident on Spotify. Barbra Streisand recorded it in 1969. And first I was I don't know why I was looking for The Morning After, but I thought I was looking for the Poseidon Adventure song. And I was like, Barbra Streisand recorded the theme from the Poseidon Adventure? I didn't know that. And it was this song. It was a different song. And I didn't even know David Shire had written it. So anyway, I reread the lyrics, and I had tried singing it like 4 years earlier when I did my Maltby Shire show at American Songbook. And I wrote to David and to Richard Maltby, who has a writing credit on, although he'll say that David wrote 95% of it. And I said, I really want to sing this song, just because it's so perfect for this moment. Because David wrote it in 1968. There were the race riots in Detroit right after Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. So that was his songwriter's response. And so he made a track for me. He made this cool arrangement. We changed some lyrics. And I just sat on a stool in my house, and I filmed it and put it on YouTube. And then I was like, we have to record this. Yeah. I have to record this because more people need to hear this. And so we did. He was at his place, someone in California, and blah, blah, blah. I went into a recording studio and went into the city to actually record, which was terrifying to me. It was my first time in the city. And but I thought the song needs to be heard. And so it just came out Friday. And so I'm very proud of it. And it's the lyrics the message is so important. So, and if you go to my YouTube channel, you can see the original at home, in my living room version, and then kind of the before and after. But that's,
so where can people find it? Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can. The single, it's on. You can download it on iTunes and Amazon. You can stream it everywhere. And if you just want to listen to it, you can listen to it on YouTube too. But it's a great message. And I feel like I found a way to express how I feel about this moment. It's like the song speaks for itself, which I think is really nice.
That's glorious. You know, you have such an incredible career. I was looking through all of your like shows you've done and everything else. We're going to go through some of the highlights. Just tell me what comes to mind, a story or a great memory. Many people were supposed to make their Broadway debuts this spring, and of course the pandemic hit. But I think they're all going to make it when it comes back, when the theater comes back bigger and better than ever. But, you know, debuts only happen once, and yours is right behind me over here. Your Broadway debut was in Merrily We Roll Along, Stephen Sondheim. What was it like being, Hal Prince? Everybody connected to that. What was it like making your Broadway debut? What are your memories of doing Merrily?
Well, it was incredible and heartbreaking at the same time. Let me just preface by saying the first Broadway show I saw as a child was Company, written by Sondheim, directed by Hal Prince, booked by George Firth, and at the Alvin Theater. And so Merrily was the exact same team, the exact same theater. So that was just so thrilling because I was just a huge Sondheim fan. I feel in I was originally hired as a swing, and then I actually was put into the show in the chorus about 2 weeks into rehearsals. So I understudied the great Annie Morrison. I never went on, thank God, because I was not ready to play that part for sure. But and I used to sit in the front row of the Alvin Theater we previewed 2 months. And I talk about this in the show with Seth, actually. I go into more detail. But because we previewed 2 months and we're making changes all the time, it was a brutal schedule. And Annie got sick, and so she had to conserve her voice for the evening show. So during rehearsals, I'd sit in the front row of the Alvin Theater, and she would do the scenes, and usually new scenes every day, and then I would sing the songs for her. And it occurred to me years later that, Sondheim was in the theater behind me, and that's how he heard me, and how then he asked me to do some of his other, a Stephen Sondheim evening and Follies in Concert, some other really tremendous experiences. But I think it's because of that. I know it is, because I only sang 32 bars of Be a Lion at my audition. I feel, as hard as it was, and I've made incredible, we're all very, very close, the entire company of Merrily. It's kind of crazy how we all are still in touch. But I think for me at least, it was like the ideal first Broadway show experience, to work with the best people in the business on something that was not a success, because I went, all right, that's what this business is. And I think if your first Broadway show is, a huge hit, then you just go, all right, the next show is going to be that. And it's almost like, no, there's so many highs and lows. My heart breaks for everyone everyone in theater, and everyone in the world. My heart breaks for, but for people who were getting ready to make their Broadway debuts, or people who just graduated college and there's nothing to audition for, and my heart breaks for them. And it's like you just have to use this time to keep on going and stay strong and keep working on your craft, and things will come back. I think it's going to be a while, but it will come back. And then, this is the lowest of lows that we're all feeling right now, but then there's going to be great moments of joy and happiness too. So, which is why you have to savor every minute. If I had known, sometimes I go, God, if I had known that was going to be the last time I was going to sing for an audience, and last time I was, having almost lost my husband in a car accident. Oh my God, that might've been the last time I saw him, or so all we can do is it sounds so cliche, but all you can do is, savor every moment and keep expressing yourself, even if no one's going to hear it. Get your stuffed animals out there and just, share your music somehow,
Keep the art going.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, I have to ask you, Richie, you always have those posters behind you, right? This isn't just for me. This is always, you just,
No,
you interview anyone else, but you still have Liz Callaway posters behind you.
No, I changed. No, these are all changed out.
Oh, so that's not what I want to hear.
Oh, well, Miss Saigon, I had a few people. I had Leia Salonga on. Like I said, some of these will stay. I have a Streisand.
All right.
You were on the road, of course, with her. There's so much. We're running out of time already.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No. But
we'll do part two.
I always try to pull something out of my collection. Some are in storage, some are here. I'm like, I got some Liz stuff here. I got to pull some Liz stuff. I got to pull somebody out. You spoke about Sondheim, that Follies in concert at Lincoln Center. Absolutely brilliant. I mean, the likes of Lee Remick, Barbara Cook, Carol Burnett, Elaine Stritch, George Hearn, Manny Patinkin. You were young Sally. Got to do Sondheim again. I was there at one of the shows. How magical was that?
Oh my God, it was incredible. I don't think we expected it to be as incredible as it was.
Yeah.
They told us that they wanted to do a great cast recording, which is why we were doing it. But we were very under rehearsed. And I remember thinking, God, I hope this goes well. and actually I meant to tell this story on the Seth concert, because one of the weird things for anyone who's been performing, and probably as an audience member as well, when you sing and then there's no applause, you finish and there's nothing, when we're singing to doing these kind of things. For Follies in concert, we did a Friday night and a Saturday night show, but the Friday afternoon, we had an invited audience for the dress rehearsal, but everyone at the rehearsal was told they couldn't applaud. They couldn't make any noise. They were just having us run through the whole concert and to have the songs as a safety in case something happened, which is why they couldn't make any noise. So you did these things and then it was just quiet. And I went, oh my God, that's what we've been doing ever since the pandemic started. It's that. At the very end, they did applaud. Yeah. And then the Friday night, first concert. So after you've done the concert for nothing, just you knew there were people out there, but it was as if they were going, Even though you knew they just were told not to applaud. But when we came out for hats off, da da dum dum, beautiful girl, and we walked out, and it was like a tsunami of applause. It was so incredible, and I've never felt anything quite like that again. It was just unbelievable. And then I thought, well, it never could happen again. And Saturday night, it happened as well. Yeah. And it was, and I remember the following Monday, Frank Rich was writing for the New York Times at the time, and he gave it the most incredible review. And I thought, oh, wow, that's what it's like to be in a hit. Because I had not had that experience. So that's what it was like to be in a hit. But it was over. Yeah. And it was devastating. I was so depressed after that, to go from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows. And so that's just, but that's this business. That's a business. And just the fact that there's not things happening now. I mean, there's amazing stuff happening online. And I think people are going to find more inventive, creative things to do. I'm hoping myself to create some theatrical experience if I can, why not? Yeah, why not? Why not try? I saw what B.D. Wong did. I thought that was very inventive. I loved seeing how I just thought, what a creative thing to do, and to film these things. There's all kinds of ways we can create art during this, and it's not going to be the same as performing live, but that's all we have, Yeah.
You then did Maltby and Shire's Baby. You played Lizzie. I mean, love that show. Love the cast. Me too. I mean, what songs you got to sing in that show? Oh, it was incredible. And that's a case of
I was very young, and I think I thought, oh, that's how it's going to be. I didn't realize the role like that was one in a million. I just thought, oh, this is the quality, and isn't this great? And even though I've done a lot of fabulous shows, that one was particularly interesting, and just it explored things that no other show had or has, and that's the genius of Maltby and Shire. They write about things that we all feel, universal feelings of subject matters that I don't think a lot of other people have explored.
Brilliant show. Absolutely brilliant show. Then you got to play Ellen in that little show behind me, Miss Saigon.
Yes.
I mean, another big hit. I mean,
yes, that was like my first. That was the first show I did that was a hit. Yeah. Although it was kind of a hit before it opened, because it had been a big hit in London. So I didn't get the feeling of, we did it, we've got a hit. And but it still was, I gave birth to my son during rehearsals. I started rehearsals 8 months pregnant and had a 2-week maternity leave. So there's a lot of 2 weeks. I was in the hospital a week with complications, home a week, and then the first day back was our first day in the theater. So there's quite a bit about that show I don't remember. So I was sleep deprived, but that was the musical theater equivalent of climbing Mount Everest for me.
Yeah, because I mean, all the people you worked up until then, like Hal Prince, Stephen Sondheim, Maltby and Shire, I mean, Alain Bobio, Claude Michel Schoenberg. I mean, what a great mix of people.
Yeah. Oh, no. I've been so incredibly lucky to work with all of them in shows, and then also to work with a lot of fantastic composers just doing concerts. I think of Stephen Schwartz as someone that I'm huge fan of Pippin. Like obsessed with Pippin in high school.
Yeah.
And actually the very first my first off-Broadway show was Godspell. That I was cast in the day after I got Merrily. It was like a really good 24 hours. And I've done concerts with Stephen for years, and we play tennis together. And sometimes I go, you go, oh yeah, my friend. It's like, oh no, wait a minute. He wrote friggin' Pippin.
Thank you.
Godspell, and So yeah, I'm really, really honored that I've gotten to know so many of the composers that I admire so much.
Not only is he the most talented, he is also one of the nicest and sweetest men in the world, Stephen Schwartz.
Extremely generous.
Yes.
Extremely generous to other writers too. I mean, actually, I think a lot of the great composers are that way. But Stephen does a lot for, as do my great friends Lynn Ahrens and Stephen Flaherty, and I think there are this whole crop of composers and lyricists. They really give back and encourage other writers, which is really great.
They're the future. How many years did you have in Cats? Were you there 5 years off and on?
On and off 5 years. Yeah, I didn't do 5 years consecutive, but they were incredibly kind to me that, when I was doing Anastasia, I needed a week off to go to LA to record a song, or they'd give me a week off. I remember I took 2 weeks off to do Sibling Revelry for the very first time with my sister Anne at Rainbow and Stars. So, but with some little gaps in there for other things. Yeah, it was about 5 years, which is why I have this really nice house.
Well, I'll tell you, I've seen.
I love doing Cats. I love doing Cats.
The house the Cats built, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I loved Laurie Beachman. I mean, Betty Buckley, all the incredible Grizzabellas. But I want you to then tell me about one performance where you got the nickname of Grizzabella the Salad Cat. Tell my audience that story.
So, Grizzabella did not have a lot of stage time. I think someone timed it at like, I don't know, 12 minutes or something. Although I did do the opening number as another cat, which a lot of people didn't realize. I named my cat Muhuvna for the opening number. But anyway, I digress. But so there was a lot of, and I brought Nicholas backstage. He grew up backstage. I was very lucky that, I could have him in my dressing room while I was working. And, but I remember I was having a dinner party that night, and I had a little refrigerator in the dressing room, and I brought I brought like celery, carrots, onions, garlic. So during Act 2, I had a big chunk of time before I sang Memory, and I chopped my vegetables, put them in baggies, and put them in the refrigerator, wash my hands. Oh, I'm getting ready. I put on my Grizzabella gloves. I go down the stairs, and I go out on stage, and I realize you can't. I was onions, garlic. It was just like the cats were all like, what did you do? What did you do? Oh my God, what is that? And so I became Grizzabella the Salad Cat because I just reeked of onions and garlic. And so I never did the onions and garlic again. So I stuck to like celery, carrots, parsley, things that didn't have a strong scent when I would prep. Now now food prepping is so, that's such a big thing now. God, imagine I could have gotten all my food prep done for the week if I was still doing cats.
I just love that story though. I'm like,
oh my God. It's just like, I thought I was like, yeah, I did that. And I was like, oh my God.
I have to give a big shout out to your mom. I knew your mom very well. Shirley Callaway, for people who don't know, one of the greatest voice teachers, hands down, of all time. I mean, I was looking at the list of people. She had like Tova Felshu, Boyd Gaines, Eric Bergen. I mean, I know I'm missing people in there.
So many. Yeah, so many wonderful singers studied with Mom. And she also, on top of her, her students, when Anne talked her into doing Facebook, and she started to post a lyric every day, and she would, she wouldn't like Google lyrics. She would go to her songbooks and type them out. And she shared, there were so many people who looked forward to it, and she connected with so many people over her love of music and her love of the story of songs and really looking at lyrics. And so I think she touched so many people, even the people who didn't study with her. So I've tried to, I try to do like once a week. I'm not always great about it. Sometimes it's every 2 weeks, but I've tried to keep her tradition of posting a lyric, because I mean, that's one of the things that when I teach master classes, I'm all about making lyric sheets, really know what you're singing about, tell the story. And I learned that, from my mom for sure. I miss her so much. God. Yeah. And my dad was an amazing television journalist, music lover. So yeah, I miss them. Although in some ways I would not have wanted my mom particularly my mom to, I don't know, this moment and the whole pandemic, it just would have been so difficult for her.
What was it like? You get to share the stage with your sister. You get to record with your sister, the wonderful Anne Hampton Callaway. You've gotten to share the stage with your mom. What was it like sharing the stage with both of them, your mom and your sister?
Oh, I hope Anne's watching this. It was incredibly special. Yeah. And that we have the memory of this, and that we got to sing with our mom. That was very special, but more special to us was like at holidays, singing around the piano. I was always super shy about it. I was kind of like, oh, don't make me sing. And now I go, oh boy, I would kill to be able to sit around the piano with Mom now. Holidays, it's just not the same since she's been gone. But those moments, the sitting around the piano, all of us trying to, sing the Hallelujah chorus together every Christmas, and, that instead of like the huge big performance, it was like the little private moments that I treasure even more.
You know, you had them though. That's the amazing thing. I mean, that's what music also does. I mean, I'm sure you learned how to sing with your mom, and you learned lyrics from your mom. I mean, you know, and your dad was a music lover. I mean, that's what I love about the creative arts. They all start at home out of love and from someone else, and you carry your parents with you every day when you open your mouth.
Absolutely. I feel so much when I sing, I feel my mom.
Yeah.
I never took voice lessons formally, but I heard my mom give a million voice lessons. So I feel like I learned through osmosis. And also later on in my career, I would say, hey, Mom, I'm having some trouble here. What vowel should I, how should I sing this word? Or, and she would give me tips. She never volunteered. She never volunteered anything, only if I would ask her. And, but especially when I sing The Story Goes On, that song, I feel her kind of with me. And frequently when I would sing that in concert, it would come at the very end of my concert and I'd be really tired and I'd be like getting ready for the last note. I'm like, all right, come on, Mom, help me here, and I feel her lifting me and doing it with me. So, and feeling it and always feeling she's in the audience. Anne will say the same thing. She always, there's always like a sign. There's always like she's there or Dad is there. There's always like I think with Anne, maybe it's an empty seat in the front row and that's always Dad,
That's beautiful.
So,
that's beautiful. Yeah. You're also the singing voice of so many beautiful animated, princesses and these beautiful heroines. I mean, Anya and Anastasia. I mean, how joyful was that singing Lynn Ahrens and Stephen Flaherty's music and just being these voices of all these incredible, screen heroines that all these little girls and boys and families have experienced together.
It was incredible. And, Anastasia in particular was one of my favorite jobs I've ever had. Lynn and Steve are very good friends. They're two of the nicest people on this planet. And, I had an amazing run of singing animated movies. I also sang in the chorus of Beauty and the Beast and the first Aladdin and Pocahontas. So I love choral singing as well. But I don't think I didn't realize until I started doing concerts that the effect that these movies, particularly Anastasia, had on, people would come up to me and it's like, oh my God, you're the voice of my childhood. And if I would sing a song, if I do a master class, at the end of a master class, I might, at a college or a high school, I might sing a little something from Anastasia and people will just cry. And and then when the Broadway musical came, which was, there was this whole other audience either discovering it or the audience that loved the movie. And I worked with Christy Altamar and we sang together. And so that's the beauty of social media also, because I can actually be in direct contact with people who have loved Anastasia and the Swan Princess. And, but I had no idea, you record in your booth and the movie opens and you don't know that people have been listening then when the DVDs came out and all that and how much it meant to them. So that is the movie that keeps on giving. And, not a day goes by that I don't hear something from someone about Anastasia, and that makes me incredibly happy.
I love it. You have so many wonderful recordings too, CDs and albums. Your latest, of course, is The Essential Liz Callaway. What a fabulous album. How did the album come about? Yeah. Well,
I've developed I discovered the entrepreneurial side of myself of the last.
I love that.
I really have. Like when Nicholas graduated college, and I looked and I went, God, he has his whole life ahead of him. That's so cool. And I thought, wait a second, I could try some new things myself. And so I started kind kind of delving into record producing, and I produced a 5-song Christmas EP. That was my first go at it. And then with the Essential Liz Callaway, I had bought the masters to all my previous recordings, or most of them. Yeah. And I thought, I could put together, this might've been Nicholas's idea, but I could put together kind of a best of.
Yeah.
And then I added some more songs to it. I had never recorded Memory before, so I put that on, and Another 100 Lyrics. Yep. I did a live concert at the Metropolitan Room called For the Record, because I wanted to have a live recording of it. And then I ended up using other songs from the concert. I added it on. So it's 18 songs on that. So, and now I did a single of Beautiful City that came out about 1.5 years ago, and a duet of Journey to the Past with Christy, and now The Morning After. And I have some other, I have an album in the works, which of course is going to take a lot longer now because of the pandemic. But in the meantime, to be able to record singles is nice until I can put them all together. And I actually, later today, I'm recording a song, a collaboration with some incredibly talented people for their album, which I can't say what it is yet, but I'm recording a song today for that. So that will be coming this fall.
That's
so
terrific.
Very excited.
Also talking about your career, I mean, didn't director Richard J. Alexander take you around the world? Didn't you go with Barbra Streisand? Well, did you do her sound checks?
Well, I didn't go around the world. I wish. I volunteered to go around the world. I volunteered to go on the Europe tour.
Okay.
Sadly, that didn't work. No, for 2 of Barbara's concert tours, Richard J. Alexander, who's directing it, asked me. I was her stand-in during the rehearsal process. So each time it lasted about 2 weeks, and happened in Philadelphia.
I was there. Yep.
And I would run through all her songs with the orchestra, her special guests, when she wasn't doing it, or if she wanted to check out the lighting. And then I would, it was crazy. It was just so amazing. Such an out-of-body experience. The first time I was more freaked out about it. The second time I kind of knew what it was. The second time was Back to Brooklyn tour. But I would get to, I get to be on the stage and see the teleprompter and sing all those songs with the orchestra.
Wow.
And it was just thrilling. It was just thrilling. And, I'm such a fan. And it's, I would do it in a heartbeat anytime. It was just to watch her rehearse was great, and to sing the songs. And it was really, and it gave me some really good patter for my shows.
And when
because it's like, who gets it? It's a good story. I mean, it's a good story. But it's always that. What is it? Nora Ephron, her mother said everything is copy, and I feel like everything is patter. So when things go wrong, and or things are just surreal, I will always find a way to get them into my concerts.
I love that. Like I said, we are out of time for this. We'll have to do a part 2. But like I said, we covered a lot in this hour.
Yes.
I want to remind our audience once again that the Liz Callaway concert with Seth Rudetsky is on demand at Broadway World events until August 25th. The Seth Concert Series is once again produced by Mark Cortelli, sponsored by Broadway World and StreamYard. Tickets are available at Broadway World events and at thesethconcertseries.com, and the tickets are only $25. It's a magical concert you did with him, and just the way it finally all came together. But
and it was just so great. I know people have been friends who've a lot of people didn't have power when it happened, so they're so happy that it's on demand. And I got an email from my friend who saw it yesterday and just said it lifted his day. So that made me really happy.
And like I said, everybody join Liz Callaway's YouTube channel, because we got to get the
200 hours by the end of August.
That's all we're looking for. Listen, Liz, love to your husband that he recovers. I'm glad that he's walking and doing his thing.
Me too.
Your son is obviously going to business school, Nicholas, right?
Yes, he's getting his MBA. He's starting year 2, so that he can take care of me in the way in which I am accustomed.
I love it. Listen,
that's my goal there.
Go do what you do, make beautiful music and everything else. I cannot wait to see you in person. You know, I'm a big hugger. Hopefully we'll get to do this.
Too. Thanks, Rich.
Listen, everybody stay safe. We'll all see you soon when the theater is back, bigger and better than ever.
Stay
Take care, everyone. Vote.
So?
Yes.
Yes!
We're gonna have a baby!
And not get married.
What?
Your sense of mission, my sense of duty. Your disposition, my inner beauty.
Your intuition, my sense of timing.
Your composition, my crazy rhyming. Matching of taste that's really uncanny. My little waist,
my little Fanny.
Lizzie and Danny, what could be better than that?